Yeah, not much really. Not much.
Not much. Nothing actually.
Would you know anything about it?
No, really.
We don't really know anything. We just arrived in Hanoi today. Nothing.
Xin chào!
This is Alluring Vietnam.
We're a group of high schoolers aiming to give you the most authentic insight into the Vietnamese land, people and culture through a fresh, non-expert local perspective. So in today's video, we want to show you around the Mid-Autumn Festival in Vietnam. Mid-Autumn Festival is really not just an occasion to eat mooncakes. Although widely celebrated in Vietnam, China, Korea, Japan, Mid-Autumn Festival actually originated from China. Throughout history, Vietnam has developed its own stories behind this festival, as well as its own traditions that set us apart from other countries' celebration. So on the night of the festival, families would usually gather around outside and moon gaze, because otherwise they cannot see the moon, and what's the point, right? There would also be fruits, food, snacks, and of course mooncakes in a mum. It's like a circular metal tray that's familiar to every Vietnamese family. This is actually a really interesting object that reminds many, if not all, Vietnamese of their childhood memories, as well as their traditional family dinners. So now we want to take you guys along with us on the preparation for this Mid-Autumn Festival. Nothing too complicated, just like running errands with some traditional touches to it. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Let's go.
Most of the shopping is done here, Hàng Mã. As you can see, there's a lot of starlights and other Mid-Autumn Festival themed items are being on display. Sometimes they are on display for like a month before the actual festival. But you know it's time when the festival happens, when the moon stalls and the toy stalls are being set up everywhere.
Kids would get starlights, Đèn Ông Sao, or lanterns, Đèn Lồng. There are a lot of shapes and sizes when it comes to lanterns, like a fish-shaped, Doraemon-shaped, etc. And different materials like paper or plastic, and with various additional functions. Some have built-in lights and can even play music. I still remember exactly from when I was in elementary school. I personally prefer the starlights, especially the smaller ones. On this occasion, adults would buy mooncake as gifts. Mid-Autumn Festival can be an occasion for Vietnamese people to visit each other's house and gift each other mooncakes. In a box of mooncakes, there should be the two basic mooncakes. Well, let's call them colors, because there can be many flavors to each color. The traditional mooncakes are full moon shaped, but there are other shapes as well, like fish or pig-shaped mooncakes, which I really loved as a kid.
Here's the thing, the Mid-Autumn Festival is celebrated everywhere, especially for young children. And so you can find it in any neighborhood you see on the day this happens. But hey, there's no need to figure out the exact date of the festival. You can just feel it anytime it happens.
Growing up, every year comes Mid-Autumn Festival, the adults would put up a celebration for us. You know, in the celebrations there would be like the lion dance, it's called Múa Lân, and there would be like musical performances with characters such as Chị Hồng. This is a woman who lives on the moon, and she's usually found in white outfits, so can really spot her in a crowd of people. And there would also be her white rabbit. That's something you should know as well. And then finally there's this guy who usually wears a mask, and then he would play with this drum, and that's called Gui. So if you know these people, you basically understand the story behind the festival. I still remember back in elementary school, every year during Mid-Autumn Festival, school would give us like bags of candies and snacks and maybe sometimes even mooncakes to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival that night. And in the morning of the festival, so in the morning of the celebration, we'd come to school and there would be lion dance and musical performances on the theme of Mid-Autumn Festival. And in the classrooms, you can find mooncakes, usually the animal shapes like pigs or fish-shaped mooncakes. And also on the window grills, you can find a lot of starlights and lanterns hanging. And on that day, we'd bring like lanterns, starlights, fairy wings, like Mid-Autumn themed toys to school, and we can celebrate them with your friends. So it was one of the things I really loved back when I was a kid.
Nowadays, this festival is mainly for kids, although adults have their own ways of celebrating it. Traditionally, during the night of the festival, in villages, the kids would march down the road with their colorful starlights and lanterns, and they're going to have the time of their life that night. And one day they will grow up, looking back at these simple childhood joys.
Kids, especially in the city, don't really do this anymore. It's kind of becoming awkward, and let's say if someone tells us to march down the street with our starlights and lanterns, we'd be like, what do you want us to do? It's kind of regrettable that such an innocent tradition is slowly disappearing. I've never had the opportunity to experience it because this tradition died out even before I was born. And I don't know if in the villages they still do it, but in the city, this marching down the streets with your starlights and lanterns is being replaced with the neighborhood celebrations that we talked about earlier. It's cool though because the children still enjoy this time of the year nonetheless, and I really hope that they can make a lot of memories. Every year comes Mid-Autumn Festival just like I did.
Now, if you're adults and you also find it awkward to grab a starlight marching down the street of Hanoi, no worries, we locals find it awkward too. You can enjoy the truly Vietnamese way just by mooncasing with a mum of mooncakes, fruits, and snacks. Enjoy the beautiful full moon. But if you're looking to feel the vibes of the city on this special occasion, come to the city center, like Old Quarter or Hoan Kiem Walking Street if the day of the celebration is in the weekend. People are going to do a lot of performances and celebration there. When it's the day of the festival, you can just feel its vibes all over the city. Mid-Autumn Festival has been a tradition for Vietnamese people and part of everyone's childhood memories for so long. It's a traditional festival that is pretty relaxed. There's not much pressure in the preparation or celebration. It's simply a joyful occasion every year that comes in the excitement of children all over Vietnam.
Alright, so that is it for this video about Mid-Autumn Festival in Vietnam. I really hope that you found it interesting and helpful for you to understand more about this particular festival in Vietnam.
Stay tuned for our next video. We'll see you. Tạm biệt. Hẹn gặp lại.
Bye!
Thùng dinh 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 thùng dinh